Hey, easily distracted. Um, Thank you, easily distracted. Okay, hang on. Let me just put this on here. Okay, let me get to the. I like to watch this on YouTube and not in the chat. I mean. So, Cassie, I'm wondering when this new interview was recorded because she's wearing the same outfit. So, what I'm thinking is that ABC called her after they found out about the protesters' interview and asked if she would come on and do an interview with them. That's what I think because she was in the same outfit and it's obviously inside her home. So, again, that's what that is. But we'll see. Let me just get to the live chat here. Okay. Hi, Snow Remover, Aurora, Chelsea, Melanie, Brenda, Jo, Bridget. I'm just going to tell you too that Dr. Phil has an exclusive interview with the parents, which I've been watching. I'm not through it yet. When I'm through it, I'll do a reaction to that because there's a lot of information in there so far, and I'm not even probably a quarter of the way through it. All right. The first thing she says in this new interview is, I really wish he, Brian, came to me that first day with the van because I don't think we would be here. So I'm kind of, here's where I'm at a loss. I really wish he would have come to me that first day with the van because I don't think we would be here. So that doesn't make any, I'm sorry. Okay, now let me just say, I understand that she is not the one that did this. I don't agree with the protesters harassing. I don't agree with that. But there are things that she says that don't add up. Okay? And maybe that's why she shouldn't be coming forward and talking to people. I don't know. Okay? Because if she comes forward and talks to people without an attorney, even if she comes with the attorney, everything is going to be put through a microscope. It's the way it is. Do I think they should have spoken to the parents, the other parents? So it's like, then you'll say, well, isn't that what everybody's so upset about? Well, everybody's so upset that the parents didn't speak to the Petito family about this. But it's not making sense to me now. When we hear this, it's not making sense to me. So maybe she should have had a prepared statement or just not answer questions of the protesters because now things are not making sense. In the protester question and answer, she said she never thought anything was wrong. She never thought anything was wrong. But in the beginning of it, she said, we found out the next day. She said, my parents came here. Okay, this is the protester interview. Question and answer. She said, I knew Brian was back because he came with my parents on the 1st in the Mustang. And my parents were coming to surprise the kids by picking them up from school. I didn't know anything about the van. I found out the next day like everybody else. Well, the next day would have been the 2nd. Okay? Everybody else didn't know on the 2nd. So she either has her timelines misconstrued or whatever. But in this interview, she says, I really wish that he had come to me the first day with the van because I don't think we would be here. I'm having a real problem with that first statement there. What does she mean by that? Because she tells us, and later on in this one, she tells us everything was fine. She changes the time for the camping trip, okay? She said yesterday she was there from 2 until 8 o'clock on the 6th. Now she says she was just there for a couple of hours. She does mention s'mores and dinner. She says she's been cooperating since day one. But when is day one? When is day one for her? Is day one the 11th for her? Is day one the 10th? Is day one the 1st? When is day one? You got your abacus out, and yeah. And again, I'm going to say I'm sorry, because I know there's people that are going to be like, oh my gosh, she's trying to do, yeah, okay, she's trying to speak out now after this time, okay? But if things don't add up, they don't add up. You can't just pretend just because you want it to be so. Okay, she said she has spoken to the FBI. That's what she said. Yes, Linda. But she then issue a statement that I've spoken to the FBI. Maybe she should have never done that first interview, because another thing that really bothers me, and it makes me think that people are playing games, and I hate when people play games, especially with the truth. If I have to worry that somebody is twisting something or wording something in such a way that they can really lie to you but be telling the truth, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I say, did you just get that dress? And let's say you're not supposed to be buying some whatever, and you say, no, I've had this a while. Well, what's a while? Somebody could say just get is 5 minutes ago, and they use their language to skirt around things. She said, I didn't, in this interview with ABC, I didn't physically see Brian, and I didn't physically speak to Brian after such and such a date. Who speaks like that? You didn't physically see him? You didn't physically? What does that mean? You texted him? Does that mean you called him on the phone? If you have to ask somebody questions like that, they're hiding something. So that makes me angry. I don't want to have to play semantics with people. I don't want to have to make sure that I ask you. You know exactly what I'm saying. Did you speak to Brian? That means on the phone. That means in person. That means through text. So don't start skirting around and changing your language. So that bothers me, because that bothers me. And then the little tidbit she dropped out on the lawn yesterday where she said, I don't think the FBI wants this stuff to be known. What is that about? That was something really, I don't know. I mean, okay, so then she says, we've cooperated with the police. September 6th, the s'mores and the dinner. But what does she mean about that van? The more lives. Yeah, I know it's a crying shame, and I want to get like a whole transcript of both of these things down, because I don't know what she means by this van. So if she knew that he brought the van back on the 1st, would she then ask where Gabby is? Because yesterday she said nothing. See, there's so many lies, okay? Because here's the thing. She says she didn't know anything about Gabby, but being gone, being Brian, all of that. But then she said we didn't speak about it because the kids were there. That doesn't make any sense. If that was their Aunt Gabby, as she says, Aunt Gabby forever, why wouldn't the kids ask, where's Aunt Gabby? That's a normal thing kids ask, and I don't care. I think her kids are 5 and 8 or something, 5 and 7, whatever. Your kids are going to ask that. Where's Aunt Gabby? They've been getting postcards from Aunt Gabby, right? Aunt Gabby's been on a trip. Uncle Brian, who's their hero, and I don't know why he's their hero, but he's their hero, though on the lawn she says she doesn't really speak to him very much. And then the husband came out and contradicted the whole reason she said she was going out on the lawn was to protect her children who were in there crying for 3 days. Now, I guess Saturday, Sunday, Monday was 3 days that they are crying, and that they found out their Aunt Gabby died because the protesters were screaming at the house. But then she says, as soon as she says that, her husband says, to be honest, we can't hear a thing you're screaming when we're inside the house. So it almost sounded like the husband didn't want her using the kids as this pawn. And I'm sorry, that's what that would be if she's not being truthful about that she would be using the kids as a pawn. And he didn't want his kids, so he's like, to be honest, and any time somebody says to be honest, usually not, but I think, or you're not normally honest. You could be honest at that time, but you normally don't tell the truth. Those are giant red flags. Just like someone telling you they're a sincere person, which she did, and or someone telling you they have a good heart or they're a good person. They're usually the opposite. The kids were scared of the protesters. Okay, I understand that, but then the husband says we couldn't even hear what you were saying. I understand that they were scared. They probably didn't want to go out, but is that really, she said that the kids learned that Aunt Gabby was dead because of the protesters. Then the husband says nobody heard anything inside. But nobody asked about Gabby, according to her yesterday, on this camping trip. Even though Brian came home on the 17th, flew home on the 17th, okay? Flew home on the 17th. She saw him on the 17th. He told her about where they were going after this. So she knew he was flying back and they were continuing on, and they were supposed to be on this trip until the end of October, Halloween. But he's back on the 1st in the car with her parents, and we're to believe that she doesn't ask, well, what's going on? Exactly. They will hear it at school. And they are in Florida, and my kids hear it in school. Okay? And even in the younger grades. Okay? So I don't believe that. If she didn't tell her kids anything about what was going on, how she kept them out of school, so August 17th to the 23rd. What did Brian do that week? He supposedly was moving stuff out of a storage locker. Again, she doesn't know where the storage locker is. She lived in the Wabasso Avenue house for 1 year. Did you know that? She lived in that Wabasso Avenue house for 1 year. Her parents were in New York. Her and her husband lived in the Wabasso Avenue house for 1 year, and Brian and Gabby moved down and lived with them. And another thing that doesn't make sense, okay? She says that, yeah, Brian and Gabby moved down and lived with them while they got their lives together, got jobs and stuff. But they never moved out of the Wabasso Avenue house. So why does she say it was just for 1 year? Cassie and her husband moved out of it, not Brian and Gabby. So there's a lot of things that don't add up in what she says. And I think the more she's talking, I think she'd probably be a good idea if she stopped talking now, because that's why they tell you, if you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about what you say. But when you lie, you have to remember everything you say. And she was just answering rapid fire questions yesterday on the lawn. So she didn't know what was coming. She didn't have a prepared statement. And now she's on another show that was probably filmed after that, but on the same day because she was wearing the same clothing, and just aired today. So yeah, weird. She would implore her brother to come forward to get them out of this horrible mess. Again, the hours of time that they were at that campground goes from 6 yesterday to a couple today. So she's trying to minimize that interaction. And she didn't, pick up anything. And she said, oh, in hindsight, do I, think I could have seen something? I didn't. She minimizes the police cam video. She says it was hard to watch, but that was kind of like what they did. They would argue and then get space from each other. But as far as everyone seeing like domestic violence issues, she doesn't see any of that. The TikTok knew what's going on. The other kids get updated on the bus or playground. This is it. Yes, it is, Amy Celeste. They do know. And it would be, not good to be sending our kids to school and not letting them know. Okay, so I want to go back to, let me see if where do I have that? So that was the first thing in the interview, that if she had known about it, do I have on the bus or playground? This is my, yes, it is. Okay, here it is. Let me say this.
I worry about him. I hope he's okay, and then I'm angry and I don't know what to think. I would tell
that I believe she's truthful there.
My brother to just come forward and get us out of this horrible mess.
And now detailing.
So, okay, get us out of this horrible mess. I believe that 100%. She wants to get out of this horrible mess.
I physically saw it, and the last time I physically spoke to my brother was on the 6th.
Okay, on the 6th. Physically saw, physically spoke to him. So I think she is saying that to cover up for the other interview, the first one. Okay. And again, I have already given my thoughts on that when you have to play games like that. I don't like it. She gave them photos of Brian out on the rocks. He has no shirt on, black shorts. She has her kid blurred out of it. Bare feet. It looks like bare feet, or it actually looks like he might have a flip flop on, and like one of those red hats with the little thing for the back of your neck. So he's out there, and then he's on a tree with the two little boys. So he's clearly having a good time on the camping trip. Allegedly he killed Gabby and left her out there. On the 6th, Labor Day, he's having a grand old time there. He doesn't look like he's, sitting in a chair all, slumped over. She says that trip was not some grand goodbye.
This photo exclusively with ABC News showing Brian and his 5-year-old nephew camping at Fort DeSoto Park with their parents 5 days before Gabby was reported missing.
We just went for a couple of hours and we ate dinner and had s'mores around the campfire and left. And there was nothing peculiar about it. There was no feeling of grand goodbye. There was nothing. I'm frustrated that...
Okay, now I have to tell you something. And I noticed it with like a lot of liars, especially on YouTube. I see a little bit of, when she says that, there's a little bit of Duper's delight in her mouth. Okay? I do see that. I see that several times when she says things. There was nothing peculiar. There was no grand goodbye. I see it. Okay? And then she has a photo of him holding the two kids sitting on this branch in this tree. And he looks right, happy as a lark,
In hindsight, I didn't pick up on anything. It was just a regular visit.
By the time Gabby was found 13 days later, Brian had already vanished. The day Cassie learned of his disappearance, she says she immediately told investigators about that camping trip.
It was not hidden from law enforcement.
She's got it again. You can look at it yourself. I'll put the link. I'll put the link to the video here. Hold on, I'll put it right in there. You can look at it yourself. Look for the Duper's Delight. I see it. sorry, I'm sorry. I think they all thought they just broke up. Gabby was not reported missing then. But then why wouldn't she say that, Cranky? Why wouldn't she say, we thought they broke up? They asked her point blank, did they tell you that they had a fight or something? Well, Carolyn, maybe Brian just needed to distress after everything he had been through. Carolina girl said, I think Cassie must have wondered if things were okay when Brian and Aunt Gabby, but didn't want the kids to hear if there had been a bag. Oh, come on. When he was out on the pier with the kids, she could have asked her mother, did they break up? What's going on? Maybe they all thought, I don't know. You guys can think that. I don't think that. I don't care if my kids are there. Someone take them somewhere else. I'm going to say something. Where is Gabby? Yeah, I agree, Brenda Jo. Love your channel. Do you think he is in contact? I don't know, Mark. I don't know. I agree. Stop with talking. True. Yeah, she's digging herself a hole. Exactly, Brenda Jo. She is just going in. She's trying to correct something. Okay, even if it was misconstrued or whatever she says in the video, but by trying to correct it, then going out on the lawn with those protesters and just answering questions and going on Good Morning America, she's putting all this stuff out there, and she's doing this to herself. She's inviting all of this scrutiny on what she's saying, because if she's frustrated, okay, other people are frustrated. The family's frustrated most of all, and they are going to look into what she's saying. The parents and daughter don't communicate about anything but s'mores. Well, stick a fork in and call me done, Catherine says. No worrying about how Brian is distressing. The kids would have asked where Gabby was. 100% they would have. She lied this bad to the FBI. There's no saving face now. Carolina girl says if she thought there had been a breakup, certainly she would have asked mom even the next day. Correct. Yeah, like what's going on with them? This is not just like a brief relationship. This was 2 years, and they lived with her for a year. She should be extremely close to Gabby, right? Seems to be a very dysfunctional family. Yeah, so let me listen to her for a second.
And cooperating with the police since day one. I have been in touch with law enforcement.
And now she's calling on her parents to do the same.
Justice for Gabby would look like having someone come forward and tell the truth. I don't know if my parents are involved. I think if they are, then they should come clean.
Cassie says her brother has taken multiple trips for up to 5 days at a time on the Appalachian Trail, where multiple tips have been reported. And over the weekend, a possible sighting was reported to investigate.
Okay, that possible sighting, I'm not putting stock in that one. That guy didn't even know what the guy's last name. The other thing is, okay, she says that it wouldn't surprise her if he could last for a while out there. But yesterday on the lawn, she said she thinks anybody could last for a month outdoors if they had a book. And I'm assuming she means a book that would tell them what to do, not a book to read.
It wouldn't surprise me if he could last out there a very long time. But also, I don't think anything would surprise me at this point. If the FBI finds him in Timbuktu, I'd be like, all right, well, that's where he was. I've got nothing. I hope.
Okay, I've got nothing. So nothing would surprise her. Okay, she is not surprised if he could last a long time out there, but she did call him a mediocre survivalist. But it wouldn't surprise her that if he could last out there a month.
My brother is alive because I want answers just as much as everybody else.
Is there something on your...
Okay, She hopes he's alive because she wants answers just as much as anyone else.
Cheek here. Looks like did you get hit in the face?
Well, to be honest, I definitely hit him first.
Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, and then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you.
Well, like, he grabbed me, with his nail.
She says the body cam video from the Moab, Utah police encounter is hard to watch.
It's definitely painful to see everybody just be upset. It was pretty.
Everybody just be upset. Everybody. See, that's like, to me, she's in denial about what's going on. And if you go back to her very first interview, she didn't say this was hard to watch. She didn't. She said that he acted just like he normally does. You know, listen, like she was saying, oh, he's a good boy, isn't he? He is apologizing. He's listening to what they're saying. She was very happy with his behavior in her first interview. Go back and listen to it. She says, yeah, just see how he's so polite and everything like that. She was very, very happy. Now everyone is upset. So everyone, instead of saying Gabby, because Brian wasn't upset. Brian was laughing and carrying on with the police. So there, I don't like her doing that. I don't.
Pretty typical of them to argue and try and take space from each other.
Pretty typical to argue and take space from each other.
But people saying that they saw public domestic violence, I've never seen anything like that.
Jupiter's Delight going up on this one. People saying they've seen public domestic violence. I've never seen anything like that. Public domestic violence. Again, I don't understand, okay, but I've never seen anything like that. To me, that's almost like getting her out of a lie. Yeah, I've seen it privately. I don't know, it's just, her wording just bothers me.
From either of them.
Now she wonders if more could have been done.
I definitely feel like if they had all of the 911 calls from the multiple people they said, that I think that it would have gone a lot differently and we.
All of the 911 calls from the multiple people they said. There's only one 911 call.
Be in a different situation.
So now she's going to blame that. Okay, you want to blame that. But see, I just feel like she's just wants to take the heat off her brother.
Cassie says she's as concerned as she is for her brother. She is mourning for Gabby and wants her family to know her heart is with them.
I've been cooperating so that everyone gets answers. They deserve answers.
Gabby's parents.
They deserve them? Well, that's good. Okay.
Bill Show.
If you truly loved her, you should turn yourself in.
That they're going to be on the Dr. Phil show, and
The
again,
Laundrie family attorney released.
I'm going to watch that. I'm not through it yet, but okay, that's her interview
It was
with
not
them.
hidden from law enforcement. I've been cooperating with the police since day one. I have been in touch with law enforcement.
And now.
So, I mean, I think she should probably, her best bet is to stop talking. No, I'm sure the parents and their lawyers are mad the sister is talking. Now I have some other stuff to go over regarding the sister. Hang on. Okay, so okay, the Mr. Bertolino, Stephen Bertolino, the lawyer, he's issued a statement now. Okay? He said Brian flew home to Tampa from Salt Lake City on 8/17 and returned to Salt Lake City on 8/23 to rejoin Gabby. To my knowledge, Brian and Gabby paid for the flights as they were sharing expenses. You know what this means to me? What does this mean to you? What does that mean to you? That what he just said. What does that mean to you? I'll tell you what it means to me when I see what it means to you. You know what it means to me? That her money was used to pay for those flights. Her debit card, her bank account was used to pay for those flights. Why would she pay for his flight to go home and clean out the storage locker? That would have been on the 17th. So his arrest warrant is for the 31st and the 1st. So there may be additional charges now. Okay. But they're saying they're knowing that that money came out of Gabby's funds there. Okay, so yeah, so he's issuing that statement now, okay? And then, let's see. He continues to say, Brian flew home to obtain some items and empty and close the storage unit to save money as they contemplated extending the road trip. Now, come on. How much is this? She said it was a storage locker. She said she didn't know where it was. I imagine it's close to the house. Okay? How much is a storage locker per month as opposed to, okay, they want to extend the trip. Now, they were going to stay as it was through October 31st, right? So when do they want to extend the trip through? And that's only them saying that, okay? Through November. Did Gabby's mother ever hear of them wanting to extend the trip? Was Gabby's mother ever told any of this, that this is to save money to extend the trip? That doesn't make any sense. His airfare back and forth, wouldn't that have covered the storage locker? It's like the same thing, if not more. And if that was really the issue with the storage locker, how much stuff was in that storage locker? Could not have the father and brother-in-law have done it? Did him a favor? I'm lost on that, how that was going to make things better. Thankfully got rid of my 250. Yeah, but this was a locker. This was not even like a unit. With all the strange behavior that went on with this family, I will have to wonder if Gabby found out something about Brian and then the planning started. Cranky says, I think they broke up then. Could be. Maybe she kicked him out. Yeah, I think there's got to be more than a storage locker, you know? Yeah, Barbara says the plane ticket was more than the storage locker. Yep. That's not adding up. And it almost seemed like Cassie didn't want to give the name of the storage place. But I'm sure the FBI's been there and has this surveillance footage of what they took out. Hopefully that they had just like they did with the Daybell case, right? So that doesn't make sense. But wait, let me go back. I still have more stuff over here. Okay. Let's hear what Brian Laundrie thinks about that video, and he's going to be talking about the protester one, all right?
I did not know that.
Hold on.
Okay, good. Oh my gosh, wow, that was a crazy couple of hours.
It was.
Like, I did not know that was going to happen. So, So first of all, like everybody, when we were on the live stream, when I was doing my live stream earlier, and everybody was messaging me, like Cassie's talking, Cassie's talking. I didn't know what you guys were talking about at first, and then I'm glad I got right off because, wow. So
Wow.
that was that totally came out of the blue. I wasn't expecting it, and like there's so much for us to go over with this video. I still haven't really processed. Oh, the light just came on out here again. That's the first time I've noticed it. I still haven't processed it all. I need to go through it all. Like I've only watched it. I mean, we got it on air so quickly. I only watched it really one time very quickly through. So I'm not going to be able to answer all your questions, but all of the highlights were we got on. So we got him on News Nation Prime at 9, and then we got him on Banfield, and I tweeted a bunch. So
All right.
So yeah, we'll make sure to get the full interview out.
It is out now.
But
I'll put a link.
I mean, what did you guys think? Like, what do you make of this? I'm just reading your comments.
I've already given a lot of that to you already.
Yeah, a lot of new questions about the timeline, that's for sure. What she said about the 17th, what she said about, I mean, you guys have been asking about the storage locker for so long, and I never really talked about it because we had no way of confirming anything, and now all of a sudden she's talking about it. I've tried. People are saying, why didn't you get her to sit down with you? I mean, we've tried. Like, I've tried.
You have.
But it seems like she must have just gotten so frustrated with the protesters that she just came right out on the lawn and started talking.
You still there,
So
Brian?
I'm just reading everything you're writing. No, there's no protesters here. Some people are saying she seems sincere.
Doesn't sound like he thinks she is, but that's my opinion.
So people are saying they haven't seen it. Yeah, I will put the full video out. I just, I have to go through it. And, I mean, like I said, we got it so quickly. They just quickly clipped it back at News Nation, the parts the highlights. So. A lot of people saying they feel bad for Cassie. That she's in the dark. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. She said she hasn't been talking to the parents.
That is
It seems like there's definitely division between her and the parents.
100%. Yep.
But she didn't really seem to stand up for Brian too much. So. But if you haven't seen it yet, go back. I clipped 2 videos. We'll put more out. And, keep in mind, this was the protesters basically talking to her, so we didn't really have control over the questions or anything like that.
All right.
I also remembered I had a full phone conversation with Dennis the hiker, and I did not tweet that out because I got so distracted with this, so I'm going to tweet that out.
I don't think that's
here,
really... I don't think he's
I just wanted to
credible.
get on here real quick. So thank you guys for watching News Nation tonight, and for following. And I'm going to tweet some more stuff out. So.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, so then he also said that the Laundrie family attorney, Mr. Bertolino, texted, I do not represent Cassie Laundrie. Cassie's comments can only be attributed to the press, twisting my words and hers. Okay, so he's taking up for himself where she said that he threw her under the bus, okay? That when she said he threw her under the bus. And went on to say, which were only given to clarify prior mischaracterizations by the press with the hopes of further sensationalizing this tragic story. And Joseph Petito put out a post yesterday, said that we have to do better. Changes are coming. Now is the time. Don't be silent. Gabby Petito, Justice for Gabby, I am Gabby, domestic violence awareness, domestic violence. Hashtagged, all hashtagged. Okay, and if you haven't heard the 911 call, okay, about this sighting of this guy, we've showed this guy's picture. He didn't know the name. I'm going to play it.
Well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer just a little while ago.
Okay, where did you see him at?
I was at the parking lot for the Appalachian Trail on the north side of Great Smoke.
Okay, can you tell me, like, was you at an overlook? Are you there?
Hello?
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably going through the gorge. You lose service every now and then. So where did you see him at?
On Waterville Road.
Okay. And just on Waterville, or did you see him near a house? Could you see a mailbox?
He was driving a truck, and I stopped and talked to him.
Okay. Was he going up Waterville or back towards 40?
He was going away from 40.
Okay. What color truck?
It was a white truck. I think it was a Ford F-150. I'm not 100% sure of that. And it was kind of a newer model. It wasn't like an old beater. It was a newer truck.
Okay. And what makes you say that it was him?
Well, first off, I was making a U-turn and in the road, and he came up behind me and he slowed down and kind of flashed his lights, like telling me, "Oh, go ahead and go, and I'm going to wait for you." And as I turned around and I'm coming back by him, he's waving his arm out of his truck, like for me to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull up next to him. I'm getting ready to go through the tunnel here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I stopped and I was.
I think I lost you.
And he was talking wild. He said that his girlfriend loved him and he had to go out to California to see her. And he was asking me how to get to California. And I said, "Well, you can get on I-40 right there and drive west and you'll get there." And he said, "No, I think I can go this way," and kind of left. But he was acting funny. And I wasn't sure about what he looked like. And then I went and parked and pulled up the photographs of him, and I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
Okay. I'm going to let my sergeant know, okay?
Okay.
Okay, can I have your name and phone number? Your phone number? Okay. Well, like I said, I'm going to pass this along to my sergeant, okay?
All right. I'll meet somebody out there if they want to. I'm telling you, it was him.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll pass this along.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that is totally, without it, I'm 99.9% sure that guy is full of beans. Okay, that's my opinion. All right, let's see if we have any other update, and then
Thank you.
We want to know what the hell.
No.
We have fully cooperated.
this is the
with
protester
police
question and
since
answer. I'm just going to
September
play that
11th
real
when I
quick.
called. I did not say that I saw my brother. I said I haven't been able to speak to him in reference to the time when I was called by the police. Since that point, I haven't been able to speak to my brother. I've been honest and
happened?
polite.
Like,
I don't
just-
know what
just-
happened.
Yeah. The thing about it is we know Gabby's family. Gabby is.
We do too.
What do you want us to do?
We cooperate with the police. We're not supposed to talk to anybody, and you're making my children cry.
Was Brian with you on September 1st? Did he come to this house?
Yes, he came to this house with my parents in their Mustang, not the van. I did not know that he took that van back. I found out the next day with everybody else. We are just as upset, frustrated, and heartbroken as everybody else. And I am losing my parents and my brother and my children's aunt and my future sister-in-law on top of this, and you're not helping.
Why
me
your
out.
parents? Why your parents? You're talking about
Because
Christmas.
they're not talking to us either.
Why aren't they talking to you guys?
If I knew, I would say. I don't know.
Do you think they're involved, your parents?
I don't know.
You don't know.
We know.
You're not involved?
We have literally been finding everything out with the news with like everybody else. My kids are upset. You're upsetting my neighbors, and all we want to do is let you guys know that we don't know.
What happened? What did you guys do on the 6th through the 8th at Fort DeSoto?
We were at Fort DeSoto on the 6th. We got there at around 2 o'clock, and we left around 8 because the kids had school the next day.
On the 6th?
On the 6th. We only stayed for about 6 hours.
Who was there?
My mom, my dad, my brother.
Would you guys be willing to go on record to say that you would like your brother Brian
The FBI knows
Laundrie
all this. They've known
to
this
turn
since.
himself over
What
to the authorities?
what was going on at Fort DeSoto campground? What were you guys doing there? Like where there was a campfire?
We had s'mores, we had dinner.
What did Brian say anything about
We had
Gabby?
our kids there. Nothing came up.
He didn't say anything about Gabby.
No, we've told
We
the
were-
FBI everything.
Did Brian go?
The
Did you?
world does not need to know what the FBI knows.
That's
And
true.
that's why we're silent.
They've asked us to not say anything. Really.
This is me coming out against them.
They're suffering, big
We're
time.
suffering.
Well,
They're suffering.
To be fair,
I
they lost a
understand
life.
your view.
I mean, to be fair, they lost a
100%.
life. So
I know.
I
We
really
could
I
have
feel
too.
bad for you, but again, I don't
No,
feel bad
I
for
know.
you.
That's fine. You feel how
So-
you feel. How we feel. My kids are upset. You're upsetting my children, who are very upset that they had to find out that their aunt died from you people screaming it at them from the house. So that's not.
Where
fair.
was that at?
On Saturday when you were here.
Your aunt died.
No, their aunt.
Their aunt died.
Yes.
The future aunt.
They considered her aunt. Aunt Gabby forever. So
To be honest with you, we can't even hear you inside.
Well, we can't.
I mean,
couldn't figure it out.
So where else have you seen Brian since
that's
September
it. I
1st?
have not
September
seen
6th.
anybody after 8 o'clock on September 6th. I have not spoken to my parents.
How long did they stay there? Do you know? Like at
I
the
don't
Fort DeSoto campground? Did Brian go off on his own into the woods or
no
anything?
idea.
We
What
don't
we've
know.
been told, we know as much as you.
Did you? So when he came here September 1st, right? You said he came. What did he come here for?
My parents wanted to surprise the kids to pick them up at school. I did not know that Brian was with them when we had previously planned to hang out with them. This is not what we want to be doing. This is not how we want the world to find out when we're angry and upset. But I can't have my kids be crying for 3 days in a row.
What did the FBI take out of the house here? Like what?
Nothing.
They came here though.
Yes.
During
We met with them multiple times.
you met with them multiple times.
Yeah.
Did they ask you for like polygraphs or anything like that?
No, but
No.
We're not.
we don't know.
We're not involved in this at all.
He's my brother, and that's it.
The parents. We've been outside the parents' home for 2 weeks straight.
I know. I've been
There's
watching.
parents' home
I
for 2
understand.
weeks straight.
I know. I've been
There's
watching.
there's
because
there's people out there.
the only
They
way
they
I
feel
find things out is the news.
your family's involved. A cloud of suspicion. The
Sure.
reason why we're here for
Of
you
course.
is because
I
the media,
understand.
the
I know.
media.
The media ended up misconstruing what I said. When they asked me if I had seen my brother, like I said in the beginning, they didn't say, have you seen Brian? It was, what's the weirdest thing about this all? It was, I haven't been able to speak to my brother. I tried to contact him after this. I tried to contact my family after this. I hadn't been able to speak to my brother.
Do you know about any additional burner phones?
I have no idea.
So you don't know nothing?
No.
Like,
He's
after.
my brother that I don't talk to that much.
And the parents ain't talking to you? Your own parents are not talking to you for what reason? They just...
The lawyer said not to.
Who's the lawyer?
Their parents' lawyer.
Their
We don't
lawyers.
have a lawyer. We have nothing to hide. We were told not to talk to anybody, and I'm upset that we have to come out and do this and then explain myself to the FBI.
So when Gabby was missing, the parents weren't even looking for her. They weren't even out looking for her.
We don't even know what they knew. We can
Do you
assume.
know that she was missing when they went to Fort DeSoto?
No.
You didn't had
September
no clue
11th,
that she was missing.
The detective that was working with Gabby's mom called me up while we were on vacation.
We were in Orlando.
And then I called her back because we were eating dinner, and I told her everything she needs to know. We told them from day one that we were at Fort DeSoto with them on the 6th and that they came over here on the 1st. The police has known everything that's out there the whole time, from September 11th night on. That's when I became involved, and I knew nothing before that.
Any other
So
questions?
what were your thoughts after you found out she was missing and your brother was here by himself and in her van and ran up $1,000 on her
These
credit
are
card?
things we're not allowed to answer.
Have you ever seen Brian hit Gabby?
No.
Have you ever seen him fight?
No.
Have you ever seen him hit any woman?
No, I've never seen him be
Domestic
abusive
violence
or
runs your
angry
family.
in anything. No.
You know that we talked to neighbors. We canvassed your parents' neighborhood.
Yeah.
They've heard screams coming out of your parents' house on multiple
Your
occasions.
parents' house.
Okay,
Screams.
I don't know what to tell you about
Might have
that.
been our kids. We lived there for a year.
Oh, you lived at the home in Wabasso?
Yeah,
Gabby and Brian lived with us.
when they were in New York.
And you've never seen them fight? No argue? No?
Of course, you know, we bicker,
But nothing-
everybody bickers, but nothing like what no
Nothing that would
domestic
constitute
anything.
domestic violence.
No,
No.
yes, or else we would have done something about it.
Right.
Like, I don't stand for that. I was in a bad relationship similar to that, what's saying has happened. I wouldn't let that happen. We're,
I thought evil monsters were made out to be.
A lot of people just want answers. There's a cloud of suspicion.
We want
Nobody came to your house, I'm sure, to after it came out in the media, they said, oh, you lied. They said that you
yeah,
misled
I've been
the...
accused of lying.
Saying
But
that you
it's
didn't
not
see him.
right. I didn't say that I didn't see him. I said I didn't speak to him after that question. Was like, what was the weirdest thing that I haven't been able to talk to my brother? As in, from the 11th forward, I have not been able
So
to
then the
talk to
media
my
spun
brother.
it around.
Yes.
If you read the transcript, it's right
The transcripts are out there of everything that was said, and then I was misquoted on inside the article, but that's not what I said. I'm sincere.
I think you guys need to make like a public statement telling Brian to turn himself in.
That just contradicts what she said in the Good Morning. She said, from the 11th forward, I haven't been able to speak to my brother. In Good Morning America, she said, from the 6th going forward, after the 6th, I have not physically been able to speak with my brother. I have not physically seen my brother. I think she's telling you a lot. I think he's gone. He was gone after that. He wasn't gone on the 14th. He was gone on the 6th. And the other thing is the physically thing means, and the 11th, if she hasn't, does that mean she texted with him or called him through the 11th? There's something wrong with the timeline. Just saying.
Man, I think that would ease a lot of people's...
We don't even know if he's on the run or he's...
Do you think he's dead?
I have no idea.
Where does he camp around here? Like, where else besides Fort DeSoto?
We've told
I'm sure she's giving
the
a lot of
FBI
information.
everything.
When you guys were children, you're obviously your whole family's outdoorsy. So when you guys were children, you know, like every summer I went to a place. Where was your summer vacations at normally?
We didn't have that. We grew up on a great street where our summer vacation was hanging out with our friends. So
I mean, we have to. We are here for
Same
the
boat.
Petito family. They are suffering bravely, things that you will never even feel.
Hope not.
And
I
it's just right now, you know, having your family destroyed, and then the people that you trusted your family member with is ignoring you and hanging up the telephone on you.
I understand. I'm in the boat where I'm getting ignored by my family and thrown under the bus by my family's attorney.
Why would he do that? Like, why?
Beats me.
Protect his client because she's not their client.
So I'm just as mad.
Did they have a storage shed, Gabby and
They have a storage locker.
Brian? Do you know where it was?
I have no idea.
Do you know what date your brother flew back, that your dad paid for the plane?
I didn't even know he paid for the plane.
Did he fly back?
Yes,
From
he flew back.
like
and
around
they
like what, the 17th or something?
Put it into their house.
Around like the 17th or something,
Yeah,
after the
he
fight.
got here on the 17th. I don't know what day he left.
Did you see him on that trip?
Yes.
What was discussed? Anything? Was he discussed
They
about?
were talking. He was telling me where they were going next. I FaceTimed with Gabby and the kids on that trip. I mean,
Did he say he got in a fight with Gabby? He didn't talk about that incident?
Just was a surprise to us, too.
Yeah. We're unfortunately in the dark as much as everybody else. And more
What was your brother like when he was in middle school and a teenager? What was he like?
I didn't live in the house at the time.
Has he ever been violent with you?
No.
Never
Violent with
fight
anybody?
your brother? I mean, me and my sister went at it. She pulled my hair, kicked me in my eye.
We're 8 or 9 years apart. We're not.
Yeah, you're older.
Yeah. He's not like my. We were little together, brother. I mean, I was.
But you guys lived in the house at Wabasso. Everybody lived there.
No, my parents lived in New York.
Oh, they lived in New York. You lived in the
Yeah.
house.
We were remodeling the house.
And then Brian and Gabby came there.
When they moved down to Florida, they moved in with us to get on their feet.
How did they
find
meet?
jobs.
High school.
That's,
Well,
I
know.
feel like I'm answering too many things.
Yeah, I understand, and I appreciate and respect. Out of respect, we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave out of respect. We're gonna leave.
We appreciate you.
I don't think we're gonna be back.
Because to be
And
honest
I'm
with you,
sorry.
This is what we wanted right here.
No,
This
I
is
know
what we
I
wanted, and this.
We were told not to come out, but I can't have my kids crying.
Well, the fact that you came out, we're not coming back.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean, unless you're lying or there's something new, something, we're not coming back. God bless you guys.
No, us too.
We just want justice for her.
We're upset. We're sad.
And you see, we're rational people. We just want answers. We want just closure for Gabby.
I would, if I were you, change your strategy because you know,
Where our summer vacation was hanging out with her friends. So
It's a tough situation, and I'm hearing you, and I appreciate you guys coming out and talking. We do respect that, and that's why.
Save our neighbors.
Yeah.
And this, again, if no one, I don't think anyone would have ever came to your house until the media came out and said, "Well,
the media said that, and my parents' lawyer really screwed me over by saying that he just.
Well, I saw the comment that
he
he
did
made.
not just stop by on the way home, and I was livid, and I'm not speaking to anybody.
Yeah, no.
I'm done. Because that put me in danger, that made my kids find out this horrible way with questions. We were waiting until there was some kind of closure, so the kids were just sad. Instead of sad, worried, and now really scared of you guys.
Well, based off all the stuff on the internet, do you think Brian killed Gabby?
I don't know. The internet is the internet.
Understand. If you had anything to say to Gabby's family, what would you say?
We've already reached out through the FBI to them, so.
Yeah, very sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the family personally, and I can share this. What do you have to say to Gabby's family?
I don't have anything to say right now because the police has told us specifically
Not
not
to talk to
to
them,
talk
but
to
yeah.
anybody or anything.
And she's going outside of that talking to you.
Yeah.
So you have to respect
Yeah,
that.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna do.
As long as you didn't say anything that you didn't tell them.
They know everything.
No, they know
So-
everything. 100% honesty. September 11th night forward, we've been cooperative. They've
It's
come
just
over,
frustrating
we've met
because
them.
the family's upset because they're not getting the belongings from Gabby that are in your parents' home.
We have no idea what they have or
They
don't
won't
have.
give
Yeah.
them.
I don't know.
It's
parents have hung up the phone on them.
I mean, it's just frustrating, you know.
I'd also like to say that, not to upset Mr. Petito any further, but I did not get any phone calls from him in the days prior to this September 11th. September 11th, I checked my phone records. I don't see any. He maybe had the wrong number for me. So I was not ignoring his phone calls.
Right.
I didn't get them.
Our first one was from the.
And that could have
Suffolk
happened. He
County
could have
Sheriff.
got the wrong phone number. It's very easy. So
And we called them right back.
it doesn't, you know.
It's just sad. It's just a sad situation. It's just sad. You know, I don't know what to think, but I appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah,
And I do appreciate you coming out. I don't know what to think. You know. Yeah, to us, the silence was like a form of guilt. You understand?
Oh yes,
like,
I understand. But for us, silence was not guilt. Silence was
Well,
the
nobody
FBI
came here
telling us
until
not
the
to.
lie
Yes,
was portrayed.
I
And,
know.
you know-
and
Plenty of people here, but
Oh, they have come
media,
by.
but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But there's just people upset and they just want answers. They want Brian because he's on the loose.
Trust me, I understand.
Whether he's dead or alive,
I
he's
want
out
it to be
there.
found because one,
the sooner
this
he's found,
sucks
the
for us.
sooner
Yeah.
this is over for us.
Yes,
We can start the
And
closure
that's what we keep
process.
trying to express to your parents is that if they can just come out and just start cooperating,
I'm making a statement.
making a statement,
I know.
we will go away.
I've
I mean,
been-
we have to. We are here.
Same.
For,
Bless you guys.
For her.
No, us too.
We just
It's
want
my
justice for her.
We're upset. We're sad.
And you see, we're rational people. We just want answers. We want just closure for Gabby.
I would, if I were you, change your strategy because
We don't
you
have
know
a strategy.
they don't have a
Yeah, they don't even have a lawyer.
Gabby deserves better, and maybe help pressure your parents into doing the right thing because I'm telling you, Gabby's family's suffering gravely, and your parents know more than they're letting on, and it sounds like they deceived you, which is not good for any parent. And I'm just
We're not even
hoping that
talking
maybe
with
some
them,
pressure
so-
from the family might help them cooperate with law enforcement so we can put an end to this. Like, I got better things to do. I'm burnt up. I've got chapped lips.
We've been out there.
I'm sick and tired.
You have a beautiful neighborhood.
What we need from them.
We've been outside your parents' home for 2 weeks. We just want answers. We want them to come forward and share everything they know. But they refuse to, they just stay silent. They're in their home. Yesterday they went out gardening in the back of their house, during, Brian's on the loose. They haven't given any public statement saying, hey, Brian, turn yourself in,
Or help me find my son, or like nothing.
They're outside
Nothing.
gardening.
Nothing.
We
They're
are
out
just
gardening.
as baffled and blown away as
It's
everybody
like,
else.
going about our lives like
I
nothing
don't-
happened.
Do you think,
I don't know what
have you heard about September 14th where Brian allegedly bought a burner phone at the
From the
18th?
news.
Do you think his mom was with him? You think your mother? Because they
That's
said,
what the news says. I don't know what.
Brian didn't like a cell phone to begin with.
he didn't like cell phones. Is he like an outdoorsman? What is he like? What's his hobbies? Like, does he like do camping, like at outdoors? And do you think he could survive out in the woods for a
I
month?
think anybody could survive out in the woods for a month if you grab a book and go out there and try.
I don't know if I asked before, but do you think he's alive?
I hope so.
No.
You hope so.
Yeah.
See,
I hope so, too.
I think people want him held accountable, but no harm done to him.
No, of course.
We don't want harm done to him. We just want him held accountable for his actions.
We would like to give his nephews an answer to when they can see their grandparents again, when see their uncle or talk to him or anything. He was their hero, so
I'm sorry for your guys' pain. I'm sorry for your guys' pain. I really am.
is that it?
I'm very sorry, yeah.
Sorry,
Very
guys.
sorry.
You guys have a good day. God bless you.
very
I hope
much.
everything turns out. Keep praying. This all ends, and then everyone can move on and just move forward from here.
But we need to find your brother so we can start
100%. I don't
start the healing
know what
process
we're
for the
doing, but-
And again, we don't condone any violence on your parents.
Nope.
We've been out there, but
We're
we haven't.
protesting against violence.
All right, so there are just a few other things. Where's the? So she, in these interviews, she denied ever seeing her brother and Gabby fight. She said no, she's never seen anything. She said, I've never seen him be angry. That I find extremely hard to believe. Also, when she's asked about him as a younger person in middle school, high school, she says, I didn't live at the house. Well, that doesn't mean anything, okay? I have a brother that's 22 years older than me. He could still answer questions of how was your sister as in elementary school and middle school and high school. He saw me even though he didn't live in the house because he had his own family. Yeah, it's just that to me, again, that's like one of those. She's not answering the question with just giving some extraneous information. That doesn't mean she wouldn't know what her brother's like. Okay. She says that she has never witnessed any kind of domestic violence. They would have done something about that. And said she's getting ignored by her family and their attorneys throwing her under the bus, right? Let's see. When asked if he could be surviving on the Appalachian Trail, she said he's a mediocre survivalist. It wouldn't surprise me if he could last out there a very long time, but I also don't think anything would surprise me at this point. And that's from the GMA interview. She said if the FBI finds him in Timbuktu, I'd be like, well, okay, that's where he is. I got nothing. I hope my brother's alive because I want answers just as much as everybody else. She blames the media for people thinking she's a liar. She said the media ended up misconstruing what I said when they asked me if I'd seen my brother. Like I said in the beginning, they didn't say, have you seen Brian? It was, what's the weirdest thing about this? It was that I haven't been able to speak to my brother. I tried to contact him after this, and I tried to contact my family after this. I haven't been able to speak to my brother. She added that she didn't know if her brother had a burner phone. But it contradicts what she said, because she said, I haven't physically seen or physically spoken to him since September 6th. But then in this interview, she said since September 11th. So which is it? She said she didn't understand why she was thrown under the bus by the attorney. She said, this is not what we want to be doing. This is not how we want the world to find out. Find out what? When we're angry and upset. But I can't have my kids be crying for 3 days in a row, is what she said on that lawn. And now Stephen Bertolino said, I do not represent Cassie Laundrie, and said Cassie's comments can only be attributed to the press twisting my words and hers, which were only given to clarify prior mischaracterizations by the press with the hopes of further sensationalizing this tragic story. On the lawn, she said she doesn't know if her brother killed Gabby or if her parents are involved. She said, I am losing my parents and my brother and my children's aunt and my future sister-in-law on top of this. And they asked, what do you mean losing your parents? She said, they're not talking to us either. If I knew, I would say, I don't know. When asked if her parents were involved, her response, I don't know. Now on that, the GMA interview, she said to her brother to come forward, get us out of this horrible mess. I worry about him. I hope he's okay. And then I'm angry and I don't know what to think. She said nothing came up when she saw her brother in the Fort DeSoto Park on September 6th to the protesters. She recounted their family trip to that campground. And she said after we left, and they left at 8, and that was 6 hours that they spent there because the kids had school the next day. She said they had s'mores and then dinner. Nothing came up when asked if there was any mention of Gabby. Let's see here. Yesterday, TikTokers paid for a banner to fly over Brian Laundrie's house. Okay, that said, justice for Gabby, time's up, TikTok, time's up. and it flew over the house for, I think it was 2-3 hours. The TikTokers had people that were donating money to pay for that, to fly over there. Let's see, we heard about that 911 call from the hiker. I do not believe that guy. I'm sorry. It's my opinion. I don't believe that guy. And that is about it. Let me just check in with Brian Laundrie, and then I'm going to finish the Dr. Phil, and I'll have a reaction to that sometime later. I'll put the link to the Dr. Phil in if you want to watch it. Okay, let me get the link to the Dr. Phil in case you can't watch it on your TV. Here you go. Here's the link. Hold on a minute. Are we on the right one? Yeah. There's the link for the Dr. Phil. Hang on. Okay. I'm going to finish watching that. Sarah Holly, someone saying sorry. What happened? How you were killed. I'm sorry for whatever happened, Sarah. I can't see it, but prayers for whatever you're going through. Yes, please, I would like to discuss. Yeah, we will. I'm going to watch it. Let me watch it. There's the link for it, Sparks, and I will take notes and come back and discuss it. All right? Anybody else have any questions or anything going on before we go? Anybody have any questions about the 2 interviews or whatever else? Hi, Kama Sutra. You're welcome, Raman. Anybody? I'm pretty sure that we won't. No, he won't. But don't fool around with Dr. Phil. You'll get yourself struck. You will. The parents are ticked she talked at all, Catherine B says. So yeah, watch the Dr. Phil, and then we'll talk about it. Because I'm not going to play his content. Okay, Amy, yeah. I would like to know about the demeanor change between the 2 interviews. Well, probably just because when she went out on the lawn, right, she didn't know what she was going to go through. But I wonder, okay, here's what I wonder. Could she have been giving an interview to Good Morning America prior to coming out on the lawn, or did she do it after? She was wearing the same clothing, okay? I don't know if she normally dresses like that just to stay home. What do you think? She could have been already giving an interview to Good Morning America, and maybe she thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to give an interview to Good Morning America. Maybe I should just go out and stop it with these guys. But if it was not pre-recorded on Good Morning America, it was live, then it was after, then it was, she's just wearing the same clothing. But yeah, that was that. Poor Gabby. She loved these families, Cassie's children, with all her heart. Hi, Dare to Be Different. At least say some kind words about Gabby. Yes, I think that it was totally that she wouldn't. Oh, I've already given. What did it hurt you to say something else? Yeah, I was very put off by that yesterday. If you want to hear more about what I felt yesterday, I did go into it extensively. Last night's video. Watch last night's video, because I go into it extensively. My thoughts on that whole interview. But what good did that do? They ran in the house when drones flew over their house. Catherine, I'm just relaying the news. Yeah, what does it do, right? They're not going to look at it. Yeah, that money probably would have been much better spent given to the foundation. Good Morning America was after, and the producers prepped her a little bit. Yeah. All right. I'll see you. I'm going to finish the Dr. Phil, and I'll talk to you guys later. Everybody take care, and God bless. Love you guys. Bye. And this. We're going to end this one.